We had a wand. We wand the women when they came in. The men we patted down. Any type of weapon, a knife, a gun, or whatever, they had to put it back into their car. That was pretty much it as far as the job description went for us. We were monitor cameras and things like that. That was basically it. Kenny, what do you think? It's about the same? Or
Yeah, because we pat everyone down and we check pocketbooks and stuff like that.
And Kenny, when did you begin to bodyguard Tupac? Did you bodyguard any other artists on death row as well?
Before Tupac, just off and on a little bit, but I think it's when he got out of prison in 95, that was?
Yeah, September 95.
Right, so I work, off and on with him because we rotate.
And Leslie? Okay, again, a question for all of you. What was a typical day like guarding Pac?
Go on, you go first. How was a typical day? Fun. It was fun, he would we go and pick him up, I think, between 11 and 12, head to the studio, he would get something to eat or something like that, go to the studio, do his work, and at night, if you want to go out or back to the hotel. But he was busy in the studio, just business.
And Frank? Okay, Kenny, do you have an experience you want to tell us about, a crazy story or situation you experienced with?
Yeah, the crazy one I have would be one day we were coming, I think, from Beverly Hills, and we were coming through the 405 into the 101, going to the studio, and he shook me because he was driving like maybe 100, 110. He got pulled over by Highway Patrol, and the Highway Patrol stopped him to get his autograph.
Yeah, I remember that. I was at the studio that day.
I came to the studio because I know we have to
you
come to the studio.
You called me about 5 times before you got to the studio.
And we got to the studio. I knew he was coming to the studio. Yeah, he normally tries, like some days he would do 110, I can't do 100.
That was Pac on security.
He liked security. As Leslie was saying, I'll piggyback on that too. With Frank. Frank, I guess, started out working and him and Frank had a good relationship. So he felt that the rotating, wouldn't serve his best interest, but it did because it gave Frank a breathe and rest and stuff like that. But yeah, sometimes he would shake you. Shake everybody if you want to, depends on what you have to do. But later he would call you and let you know where he's at so you could come and get him.
Kenny, this question is for you.
Okay.
Pac mentioned he didn't want to go to Las Vegas, and what did he say about going?
At the time in New York, I think we had just finished doing MTV, and he had to come back to LA, I think, to do a video. And he didn't want it to go because he was like uneasy about going. He said he didn't want it to go. He felt that, I guess he wasn't feeling too happy, I don't know, but he didn't want to go.
Were Pac and Suge on good terms when he left New York?
That's for me or all of us?
That's for you, Kenny.
Yeah, as far as I know, yes.
When was Pac planning on leaving death row?
That I don't know.
When you took Tupac to the airport to return to California, what did he tell you?
I can't remember that.
Okay. What did you tell me he told you?
I know you
and I had a conversation.
Yeah.
You told me that Pac felt like
I think,
he was a dead man walking.
Right. What it was is that I think at the time, after we did the
MTV Awards.
I think after we did the MTV Awards, I don't know what went down, but he wasn't too happy about it, and he didn't care about going anywhere, so he didn't feel like he didn't want to go to Vegas. I don't even think he wanted to do the video.
Did Pac get into any altercations while in New York for the MTV Awards?
I can't remember.
What happened in Grant Park when all of them went up there? Snoop didn't want to go, and Pac got upset at Snoop. That's when I guess it started happening between Pac and Snoop. Nas and all of them was going up to the park, and Snoop was back in his hotel. He didn't want to go or something like that.
Okay, pause that.
But don't you recall he said something to you getting on the plane?
Something
about
he wasn't happy. I remember he said he wasn't happy going on the plane. He didn't want to go. Michael Moore was more into the Michael Moore's the one who said that. So you gotta, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Michael Moore and Al.
Okay.
Good. Yeah, I was still working with Right Way because I worked with him for a while, but as I said before, I was on a different artist. But when Tupac died, I was already working with someone else through Right Way. So, yes. I'm doing it because Frank, and Frank has mentioned my name in the book, and I've known Frank well, I've known Tupac well, and I just felt that, as my name was mentioned in the book regarding, working with him, that I should say, my capacity of working with him, what I did and stuff like that, and what type of person he was, because I don't think a lot of people know the other side of him. They only see the music side and listen to the music side, but in his heart, he was a totally different person. Just like a lot of other people, you see, just the movie side and you judge them from that. But in his heart, he was a different person, and I know that for a fact.
And Kenny, have you ever been interviewed by any federal law agencies?
No,
LAPD
no, no interviews. This is my first any kind of interview.
So I'll ask Frank and Kenny. Did you leave Right Way on your own accord, or were you fired?
For me, I leave Right Way on my own accord. But as I said, I was working with another artist they had, and the opportunity presented itself, and I keep working with that individual. But yes, it was no bad feeling. We just went our separate ways.
Being with Tupac.
I would say my best memory with him is like a lot of the stuff he did from his heart. Like he would give people money on the streets that he didn't know. He would stop and, you would have homeless people. He would always have money on him and he would give it to them. That's a lot of stuff that people didn't know about it. He would cook. He used to like eating jambalaya. So he would go to the outlaw. They were staying in some other place and he would cook there, make certain they cleaned the house. And he was a neat person. And a lot of people don't know that side of him, or even if they do, they don't talk about it. They talk about some other negative stuff that may be in the news, but that's not what all a person is made up of.
Kenny, how did the atmosphere around death row change after Tupac's murder?
Well, to my knowledge, with the atmosphere, everybody was sad. I remember we went to see him that Friday, the same Friday he died. And we went to visit him in Vegas at the hospital, and about, I guess it was about 1 o'clock that day. And myself and a couple other people, we went in to visit him, and he was just laying there and just helpless. And kissed him on his forehead, and it was cold. And after then, by the time we got on the road to come to LA, he was already dead. I mean, I just messed my whole day up.